Hello everyone, welcome back to Decode with Lalit. Today, I want to tell you perhaps the most powerful network in Silicon Valley's history. Imagine a single company whose employees went on to create YouTube, LinkedIn, Tesla, SpaceX, Yelp, and dozens of billion-dollar companies. Sounds impossible, right? But it's absolutely real. This is a story of PayPal Mafia, a group of entrepreneurs who literally reshaped the internet as we know it. Who are these people? How did one company produce so many successful founders? And most importantly, what we can learn from their story. If you're interested in entrepreneurship, technology, or understanding how Silicon Valley actually works, this video is for you. So let's dive deep into this fascinating story. To understand the PayPal Mafia, we need to go back to 1998. This was the height of the dot-com boom. Internet companies were being founded left and right, and venture capital was flowing freely. And everyone believed that internet would change everything. They were right, but most companies from that era didn't survive. In this chaotic environment, there was one massive unsolved problem: online payments. Think about it, if you wanted to buy something on eBay, how would you pay for it? You'd have to mail a check or a money order. This was slow, risky, and incredibly inefficient. The internet needed a better way to move money. In December 1998, two brilliant minds came together in California: Peter Thiel and Max Levchin. Max was a Ukrainian immigrant, a software engineer with exceptional technical skills. Peter was a hedge fund manager turned entrepreneur known for his philosophical thinking and contrarian views. They founded a company called Confinity. Initially, the idea was to create security software for handheld devices, specifically Palm Pilots. They wanted to build encryption tools, but here's the thing about startups: sometimes your first idea isn't the right one. Nobody was interested in the security software, so they pivoted. They realized that if you could transfer money from one Palm Pilot to another using infrared technology, that could be revolutionary. And from this concept, PayPal was born in October 1999. This idea was simple but powerful: send money to anyone with an email address. But while Confinity was working on this, just a few blocks away, someone else was building something similar: Elon Musk. Now, Elon had just sold his first company, Zip2, for $307 million. He had money, ambitions, and big dreams. In March 1999, he launched X.com, an online bank. His vision was huge. He wanted to create a complete financial services platform that would replace the traditional banks. Email based money transfer was just one feature of his grand plan. So now we had two companies, Confinity with PayPal and Musk S.com, both fighting for the same market. This was intense competition. Both companies were burning through cash at an alarming rate, about $10 million per month. That's unsustainable even in the crazy dot-com boom. By early 2000, both companies realized that this war was destroying them, so they made a surprising decision. They merged. In March 2000, Confinity and X.com combined in a 50-50 deal. No clear leaders, two CEOs, two different company cultures, two different visions for the product. As you can imagine, this created chaos. Elon Musk became the CEO of the merged company. Peter Thiel became the executive vice president of finance. Max Levchin remained as the CTO, but beneath the surface there was tremendous tensions. Musk wanted to keep the name X.com and build his vision of a complete online bank. The Confinity team wanted to focus exclusively on the PayPal product, the email-based payment system. These weren't just strategic disagreements, this was a fundamental clash of visions. And then came September 2000. This is where the story gets really dramatic. Elon Musk went on his delayed honeymoon to Australia, and while he was away, something extraordinary happened. A group of executives, including Max Levchin, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, and David Sachs, went to the board of directors. They presented a case: the company needed a focused leadership. The X.com vision was too broad. They needed to concentrate on PayPal. And the board agreed. When Musk returned from his honeymoon, he was no longer the CEO. He had been ousted in what became known as one of Silicon Valley's most infamous coups. Peter Thiel took over as CEO in October 2000. Now, Musk later described this as feeling like being stabbed in the Senate like Julius Caesar. It was painful, it was personal, and it shaped his future approach to maintaining control of his companies. But here's the interesting part: Musk remained a major shareholder. He didn't leave the company. And when PayPal eventually succeeded and was acquired, Musk received approximately 180 to $250 million. This money became the seed capital for his next ventures, Tesla and SpaceX. So, in a strange way, being ousted from PayPal enabled everything that came after. Under Peter Thiel's leadership, PayPal made a crucial decision: focus. They would no longer try to be a full service online bank. They would do one thing exceptionally well: enable people to send money via email. In June 2001, the company officially changed the name to PayPal, recognizing that this product had become their identity. But success brought new challenges, particularly a massive problem that threatened to destroy the entire company: frauds. Criminals were exploiting PayPal system. They would create fake accounts, transfer money, and disappear before PayPal could react. The losses were staggering. PayPal was losing $10 million every month to fraud. For context, that's $120 million a year. No company can sustain that. This is where Max Levchin's technical genius became critical. His engineering team built a sophisticated fraud detection system using early machine learning algorithms. They created software that could identify suspicious transactions patterns in real time. This technology was so advanced that Max would later use these concepts when founding Palantir Technologies, a company that provides data analytics to intelligence agencies. By early 2002, PayPal had solved the fraud problem and was growing rapidly. On February 15, 2002, PayPal went public. This was a remarkable achievement because the broader market was terrible. The dot-com bubble had burst, tech stocks were crashing, and investors were terrified of internet companies. But PayPal was different. It was actually profitable. On the first day of trading, the stock price jumped 55%. The IPO raised over $70 million and valued the company at almost $1 billion. Then something interesting happened. By mid 2002, PayPal had become the dominant payment method on eBay. About 70% of eBay sellers were using PayPal to receive payments. eBay had tried to compete with their own service called BillPoint, but it had failed. So eBay made a strategic decision. If you can't beat them, buy them. On July 8, 2002, eBay announced that they would acquire PayPal for $1.5 billion in eBay stock. This deal was closed on October 3, 2002. This was a massive payday for the founding team. Elon Musk, with his 11.7% stake, received between 180 and $250 million. Peter Thiel, with his 3.7% stake, received around $55 to $60 million. Max Levchin received approximately $35 to $40 million. Many early employees became millionaires overnight. But then something unexpected happened. The PayPal team started leaving eBay. You see, eBay had a very different corporate culture. eBay was a large established company with processes, hierarchies, and bureaucracies. PayPal had been fast moving, aggressive, and entrepreneurial. These cultures clashed. Within 4 years of the acquisition, only 12 out of the first 50 PayPal employees were remaining at the company. Everyone else had left, and this exodus created something extraordinary. These former PayPal employees stayed in touch, helped each other, invested in each other's companies, and created what became known as the PayPal Mafia. The term PayPal Mafia was coined in 2007 when Fortune magazine published an iconic article with that title. The accompanying photograph showed PayPal's founders dressed in the gangster-style clothing posed like a mafia. The image was tongue-in-cheek, but the term stuck because it captured something real. This group of people had become incredibly powerful in the Silicon Valley, and they actively helped each other succeed. Let me walk you through the key members of this group and the empires they built. First, we have Peter Thiel, often called the Don of the PayPal Mafia. Peter was PayPal's co-founder and CEO from 2000 to 2002. His payout from the eBay acquisition was around $55 million. In 2004, Peter co-founded Palantir Technologies with several other former PayPal employees. Palantir builds data analytics software for governments and large enterprises. The clients include CIA, FBI, and NSA. The company is now valued at over $20 billion, but Peter's most famous investment came in 2005. He became the first outside investor in Facebook, putting in $500,000 for a 10% stake when the company was just a dorm room project. When Facebook went public in 2012, that investment was worth over $1 billion. Also in 2005, Peter founded Founders Fund, a venture capital firm with a unique philosophy. Peter said, "We wanted flying cars, instead we got 140 characters," critiquing the tech industry for focusing on trivial products. Founders Fund has invested in SpaceX, Airbnb, Stripe, and many other successful companies. Peter is also deeply involved in politics. He's been a major Republican donor and backed Donald Trump in both 2016 and 2024 elections. His protege JD Vance became Vice President of the United States in 2025. Next, let's talk about Elon Musk, the outset king. Elon was the CEO of X.com and briefly of the merged company before being removed. His payout from PayPal was between 180 and $250 million, making him the biggest financial beneficiary of the acquisition. What did Elon do with that money? He bet it on two impossibly ambitious ideas. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with the goal of making humanity a multi-planetary species. People thought he was crazy, rocket companies didn't succeed. The aerospace industry was dominated by governments and massive defense contractors. But SpaceX succeeded. They became the first private company to send astronauts to the international space stations. They've revolutionized the space industry with reusable rockets, and they are currently developing Starship, which Musk hopes will take humans to Mars. In 2004, Elon invested in Tesla Motors and became chairman. By 2008, he was CEO. Tesla was trying to do something most experts said was impossible: make electric cars that people actually wanted to buy. They succeeded. Tesla is now worth over $800 billion and has forced the entire automotive industry to go electric. Elon also co-founded OpenAI in 2015, although he later left due to disagreements. He founded Neuralink in 2016, working on brain-computer interfaces, and in 2022 he bought Twitter for $44 billion and rebranded it to X, bringing back his original vision from over 20 years ago. As of 2024, Elon Musk is the richest person on earth. He's also been appointed to the head department of government efficiency under President Trump. Max Levchin, PayPal's co-founder and CTO, received about $35 to $40 million from the acquisition. In 2004, Max founded Slide, a company focused on personal media sharing for social networks. Google acquired Slide in 2010 for $182 million. But Max's biggest success came later. In 2012, he founded Affirm, a financial technology company that offers buy now pay later services as an alternative to credit cards. Affirm went public in 2021 and reached a valuation of over $24 billion. Max's current net worth is approximately $2 billion. Reid Hoffman, who was PayPal's executive vice president and COO, received around $100 million from the eBay acquisition. In December 2002, just 2 months after the acquisition closed, Reid co-founded LinkedIn, the professional social network. LinkedIn launched on May 5, 2003. The idea was simple but powerful. Create a professional network online where people could connect with colleagues and find jobs, build their careers. LinkedIn went public in 2011 and Reid's stake was worth $2.34 billion. Then in 2016, Microsoft acquired LinkedIn for $26.2 billion. One of the largest tech acquisitions ever. Today, LinkedIn has over 1 billion users worldwide. Reid also became a partner at Greylock Partners, a venture capital firm where he invested in Airbnb, Facebook, and many other successful companies. In 2002, Reid co-founded Inflection AI, and in 2025, he launched Manas AI, focusing on drug discovery. He is also a major Democratic donor and political influencer. His current net worth is approximately $2.6 billion. Now let's talk about 3 people who created something you definitely use: Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Javed Karim. At PayPal, Steve was an engineer, Chad was a designer who actually designed the PayPal logo, and Javed was also an engineer. After leaving PayPal, these 3 friends started discussing a problem they had noticed. In 2004, after the Indian Ocean tsunami, people wanted to share videos online but couldn't find an easy way to do it. Everyone wanted to see the clip, but there was no simple way to find and share it. Video sharing existed, but it was complicated, expensive, and required technical knowledge. So in February 2005, they registered the domain youtube.com. Interestingly, Valentine's Day, February 14, 2005, was the registration date. On April 23, 2005, Javed Karim uploaded the first YouTube video, a 19-second clip titled "Me at the Zoo," filmed at the San Diego Zoo.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts.
Initially, they thought YouTube might work as a video dating site, but they quickly pivoted to general video sharing. The growth was explosive, and YouTube became the go-to platform for anyone who wanted to share video content. And on November 13, 2006, just 18 months after launching, Google acquired YouTube for $1.65 billion. The individual payouts were substantial. Chad Hurley received $395 million. Steve Chen received $326 million. Javed Karim, who had left early to pursue graduate studies at Stanford, still received $64.6 million. Today, YouTube has over 2.7 billion monthly users. It's the second most visited website in the world after Google. The platform has fundamentally changed media entertainment, education, and how we consume content. Rolf Botha was PayPal's chief financial officer. After PayPal in 2003, he joined Sequoia Capital, one of the most prestigious venture capital firms in the world. At Sequoia, Rolf invested in YouTube before the Google acquisition, as well as Instagram, Eventbrite, MongoDB, and Unity Technologies. Rolf is now the managing partner at Sequoia Capital, making him one of the most powerful people in the venture capital world. His ability to identify the winning companies has been extraordinary. David Sachs was PayPal's chief operating officer and received approximately $35 to $40 million from the acquisition. In 2008, David founded Yammer, an enterprise social network designed to help employees communicate within companies. Microsoft acquired Yammer in 2012 for $1.2 billion. David also co-founded Kraft Ventures, a venture capital firm. He's been a major supporter of Donald Trump and in December 2024 was appointed as the White House AI and Crypto Czar by President Trump, giving him significant influence over technology policy. Jeremy Stoppelman and Russell Simons were both engineers at PayPal. In 2004, they co-founded Yelp, which revolutionized how people find and review local businesses, especially restaurants. Yelp went public and is now worth over $4 billion. There are many other notable PayPal Mafia members. Ken Howry co-founded Founders Fund with Peter Thiel and served as an US ambassador to Sweden from 2019 to 2021. Luke Nosek was a PayPal co-founder and partner at Founders Fund. Ishan Wong became CEO of Reddit from 2012 to 2014 and later founded Terraformation, a company focused on climate change. Keith Rabois held executive positions at Square and OpenDoor and became a partner at Founders Fund. Let me put that impact of the PayPal Mafia into perspectives. The company they founded or co-founded include Tesla, SpaceX, LinkedIn, YouTube, Yelp, Yammer, Palantir, Affirm, and dozens of others. The companies they invested in as early backers include Facebook, Airbnb, Stripe, Pinterest, Square, Uber, Postmates, and Reddit. The combined value created by this PayPal Mafia is conservatively estimated at over $1 trillion. That's not a typo. $1 trillion in value creation from the alumni of a single company. What makes this even more remarkable is the network effect they created. PayPal Mafia members actively help each other. They invest in each other's companies, they hire from each other, they sit on each other's boards, they share deal, flow, and knowledge. For example, Peter Thiel invested in Reid Hoffman's LinkedIn. Reid invested in companies that Peter recommended. Rolf Botha at Sequoia funded YouTube, which was founded by his former PayPal colleagues. When Max Levchin started Affirm, several PayPal Mafia members invested. This is a virtuous cycle of success breeding success. The 2007 Fortune article that coined the term showed how interconnected this network was. The photograph featured Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Reid Hoffman, Max Levchin, David Sachs, Rolf Botha, Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, Javed Karim, Jeremy Stoppelman, Keith Rabois, and others, all dressed like mobsters. But unlike an actual mafia, this is a positive network focused on innovation and value creation. They're not excluding others. In fact, they've mentored and funded thousands of entrepreneurs who had no connection to PayPal. Their influence has spread throughout the Silicon Valley and beyond. The obvious question is, why did this particular group of people become so extraordinarily successful? What made PayPal different from thousands of other tech companies? First, PayPal was an incredibly intense bootcamp. The work environment was demanding, with many employees working 80 to 90 hours a week. They faced constant crises, including the fraud problem that nearly destroyed the company, intense competition, and technical challenges of scaling a payment system. This high pressure environment forced people to learn quickly, make fast decisions, and solve complex problems. It was like a military boot camp for entrepreneurs. Everyone who survived PayPal came out tougher, smarter, and more capable. Second, most PayPal employees were young, typically in their 20s. They didn't have family, mortgages, or other obligations. This meant they could take enormous risks. When you're 25 years old, you can afford to spend 3 years working on a startup that might fail. You have time to recover. Third, the eBay acquisition gave everyone a significant financial cushion. Even junior employees often received a six-figure payouts. This money provided freedom. You could quit your job and spend 2 years building your startup idea without worrying about rent. You could fail once or twice and still have money left. This financial security enabled risk taking. Fourth, they were embedded in Silicon Valley's ecosystem. PayPal's office was in the heart of Silicon Valley. Everyone knew the venture capitalists, the other entrepreneurs, the engineers looking for jobs. The talent pool was right there. The infrastructure for starting companies existed all around them. Fifth, and perhaps most important, they had built trust and mutual respect during the PayPal years. When Reid Hoffman started LinkedIn, Peter Thiel invested without any hesitation because he knew Reid's capabilities. When the YouTube founders needed advice, they could call and PayPal alumni and get help. This network of trust dramatically increased everyone's chances of success. Sixth, they had learned from failures. PayPal itself had almost died multiple times. They had seen what doesn't work, they had made mistakes and learned from them. When they started the next companies, they avoided repeating the same errors. So, what can we learn from the PayPal Mafia story? What lessons apply to entrepreneurs anywhere in the world? First, build and maintain strong professional networks. The PayPal Mafia succeeded in part because they helped each other. Stay in touch with your colleagues, your classmates, your former co workers. These relationships can become incredibly valuable. In fact, we are already seeing PayPal's mafia style networks emerging from other successful companies. Former Flipkart employees in India have founded Udaan, Grow, and Thread. There's an emerging Ola Mafia and an InMobi Mafia. Second, embrace calculated risk taking. Elon Musk invested essentially all of his money into SpaceX and Tesla. He came very close to bankruptcy in 2008, but he believed in his vision and was willing to risk everything. Not every risk pays off, but you'll never achieve extraordinary success without taking risks. Third, focus on solving real world problems. Because YouTube made video sharing simple, LinkedIn digitized professional networking, a firm created an alternative to credit cards. These weren't solutions looking for problems, these were clear problems that millions of people faced, and the PayPal Mafia members built products that solved them elegantly. Fourth, execution matters more than ideas. Lots of people had the idea for online video sharing before YouTube. Lots of people thought about professional social networks before LinkedIn. The PayPal Mafia members succeeded because they executed brilliantly, not just because they had good ideas. Fifth, learn from failure and keep iterating. PayPal itself pivoted multiple times before finding product market fit. Confidently started as a security software company, X.com started as an online bank. They kept adjusting until they found what worked. The PayPal Mafia story is ultimately about the power of talented people working together, learning together, and supporting each other. It's all about taking risks, working incredibly hard, and maintaining relationships over time. This network has shaped the modern internet. The device you're watching this video on, the way you network professionally, the car you might drive in the future, space exploration, all of these have been influenced by PayPal's alumni. And here's the fascinating thing. The PayPal's Mafia story isn't over. These people are still active, still founding companies, still investing, still influencing technology and politics. The next chapter is being written right now. So, whether you're an entrepreneur, an engineering student, or just someone interested in how technology shapes our world, the PayPal Mafia story offers valuable lessons. Build things that matters, surround yourself with talented people, help others succeed, and don't be afraid to take big swings. Thank you.